In this video, we are going to talk about the worst champion to play as in Deathball. And not only are they the worst, I would actually recommend to the developers of tweaking a couple of their abilities because the character is just not good. Well, before we get into this video, please hit that like and subscribe. I'm trying to hit 100k and I need your guys' help, so let's begin. Okay, so we have all of these champions. We got like 1, 2, 3, 6, 9. We have like 10 champions. And Deathball, consistently 9 out of the 10 of them, they have done a pretty good job of making them to where like they're either in the mid to really good range. And then you have one that is just like not really good at all. And if you've played this game a lot, you probably already know who I'm going to say. And it's going to be Foxo. Foxo is just not a good character at all. Just not a good character at all. Just like the abilities, there's a couple abilities that are fine in the class, in the 4 abilities, but there's 2 of them that we specifically need to talk about that definitely need to be tweaked. Now, there is no diss on the developers on Deathball. They do a phenomenal job. And you know what? They're not going to necessarily... When you're making a character and you don't really get to try it out as much in public games and such like that, you're not going to have the 100% knowledge of how good a character is or how bad a character is. So this video is just to give perspective to developers and help them out. I really do appreciate the game. They do a phenomenal job. I don't want this to be like I'm just dogging them for making a trash character. But in all honesty, this character is a trash character. So if we look around here, we got Koju, Senju, Torokai, excluding Jim Toki, he's different, but Kamiki, Saito, Luffus, like, they're all decent enough in different ways, and even in, like, a tournament standpoint, I've seen Kamiki, I've seen Saito, Luffus, Gazo, I don't know if I've seen Senju, I don't know if I've seen him, but he's still not bad. I've seen Koju, and I don't know if I've seen a Torokai yet, but I've seen a lot of Kilos as well. The developers have done a really good job, for the most part, of just creating characters that can be used in just a variety of different ways that are still decent. Like, if we take Marzo, who's one of the best players right now in Deathball, he uses Saito. If we take Akka, who's one of the best Deathball players, uses Gazo. If we take, I think, Choberti, who's one of the best characters in Deathball, uses Killua. So the developers did a really good job at diversifying characters that can still be really good at the top of the game. But let's talk about Foxo. So he has his ninja run, which moves faster and jump higher for 5 seconds. Shadow clone creates 2 shadow clones and passes the ball through the clones. Tree jump creates a collidable tree stump for 8 seconds, and then Fox armor gain 1 health point for 20 seconds. Let's see right here. So like, if we go to the first one, like ninja run, move faster and jump higher for 5 seconds. For a first ability that you get right off the bat, it's not bad at all. It's a movement base. You get to go faster for 5 seconds. But if you compare to something like Killua right here at level 15, you get to move fast for 5 seconds, and then you also get 1 auto deflect. And it's only level 15. If you smacked on a double fruit, double XP fruit, you get that literally in no time. So easy. So it's just this, like, you know, right now Killua is already just, yeah, this ability is just, it's okay. It's the first ability, but it could definitely be tweaked to be better. But do they have to change this ability, this first one? No, they don't have to change this one. Would it be cool to see it change? I wouldn't mind it, but if they didn't change Ninja Run, ideally if they like made a new Foxo and they didn't change Ninja Run, I wouldn't care. This one though, it's just garbage. This one is just not good at all when it comes to like, it's just not good. You create 2 shadow clones and pass the ball through the clones. And there's a few reasons why. One, I'm pretty sure the people on the other team, or the enemies, can see the clones once they've been placed. Which is just like, well, that kind of defeats the point a little. It doesn't necessarily defeat the point, but it's just like, it's just, the enemies can see it and they can kind of plan for it. The second one is, when you use the shadow clone, it is really slow. Like, and you can say, well, that's how it is in the beginning, early game. That's just how it is. But it's like, okay, this ability is going to focus a lot on how fast the ball is. And if the ball is just pretty much slow throughout the whole game, especially in a regular public match, the shadow clone is just not good. And the third one is the ball can come back at you. And I'm not talking like in a 1v1 situation. It can be in a full lobby. And if depending on the way how you plant them, the ball can come back to you. Now, the chance of that happening in the early game is not as high, But like if there's like 2 people, 3 people, 4 people, and you put those 2 guards or two shadows down, there is a good chance that it could come back to you. And it's not the end of the world, but it's like if I'm using an ability, I don't want it to have the effect of backfiring on me, especially when the ability is just slow to begin with and they can read it. And then on top of it, the ball can come back and hit you. It just makes this ability just not good at all. Not good at all. And then we get to the third one. We get to tree jump. Create a climbable tree for stump for 8 seconds. Now this one, it just creates a big tree and you go on top of it. I mean, it can buy you like a couple seconds to where you deflect the ball, but it's just not a good ability. It's just not good ability. It's just not good. I mean, you can use like Saito's ability, a super jump at level 25 to gain distance. Or you can even use Luffy's Gum Gum Balloon to kind of create a distance. Like this one just creates a tree stump that pushes you on top of it. And it actually could backfire because depending on how the ball is, it could actually hit part of the tree trunk and then you might click early and then you take damage. This ability is just not good. It's just not good. So let's go to Fox Armor. This is the one that is like S tier. It is S tier. This is the one that is the one you can argue. I wouldn't necessarily say it could be broken per se. I wouldn't necessarily say it's broken, but it's his best ability. You gain 1 extra hit point for 20 seconds. So that can really help out throughout the game. You could even start that mid or early game and just be a little aggros, and then you'll be at 4 health for 20 seconds and maybe push someone. And even if you take damage, you still have your typical 3 health. And late game, that can really help out a lot too. This ability is really good. It's an S. I would give this an S tier ability. Ninja Run, I would give it like a C+. Shadow Clone, I'm giving it a freaking F. I'm giving it the D to F range. Tree Trump, I'm giving it a D to F. Fox Armor, I'm giving it an S tier. Now, with that being said, I'm not just going to make this video without giving some potential solutions of reworking Foxo in this scenario. So Ninja Run, yeah, you can make it where it had a auto deflect to it. Maybe if you want, maybe change that to 7 seconds. This is just, potential rework ideas. Because if Kilo has it level 15 where he gets 5 seconds, moves faster, but he gets 1 auto deflect, if you're not going to give him an auto deflect, at least make it where it's like 7 or 8 seconds to kind of tweak it to make it better. That's just my opinion. Shadow Clone. Instead of creating 2 shadow clones that the ball will pass through, how about make it to where you can create 2, you can make either 1 to 2 clones, let's just say 2. You can place 1 down at a time, and then wherever you place it, you can teleport to it. So that will give you, this would make Foxo a lot more strategic, and you can place it, and then if the ball's coming out and you didn't react, you can teleport far away to gain you some time, or maybe make it where you can put like 2 of them down in 2 different spots so you can teleport to one and then teleport to another and try to trick people up. I think that would be better than this ability at least. So yeah, and then if we get to tree jump, I do not like this ability. What you could maybe do is create like a tree wall of some sort where it places in front of you and you can't like move it around like Luffy's glass wall, but it would create a wall and it could take like 2 or 3 hits in front of you and then it would break. That way it could help give you some defense. And then combine that with the Fox Armor, which I think you should just keep. If you did that, I think the character could be a lot more playable. And potentially people could use it in tournaments. Because if you had a Ninja Run for 7 seconds, that could help. If you had this where you could teleport in 2 different spots, that can be interesting to see. And then if you could create like a wall that could have like 2 to 3 deflects. You can't move it, but you just place it in front of you. That could help out as well. And then the Fox Armor would be really nice. So again, I do not want to just diss the developers here, but in all honesty, and compared to all the other characters, Foxo is just in a bracket that is just not good at all. And if you like this character, I'm not going to tell you to not play it. I'm just just in comparison to other characters, and especially in a competitive sense, like no one in the right mind would ever use Foxo unless you're just like so good at the game that you could use Foxo, which I don't think there's a player that's so good at the game that they could play against the top players in Deathball and use Foxo and win. I don't think there is. I don't think if you're really good and you play Foxo and you're going against someone like Akko with Gazo or like Marzo Saito, I don't think you're gonna win. I don't think you would win a tournament now with Foxborough. Maybe if he got tweaked a little bit, then yeah, you could argue more. But no, hopefully the developers will see this video and understand my heart behind it, and not to dog on them, but just to rework it, because so far Death Ball, from all the characters, have done a pretty good job at making the characters relatively close and enjoyable in different aspects, and you could use a lot of them in tournaments. Some of them are more suitable in tournaments, but you could still use most of them in tournaments. You could use Kojo, you could use Senju. I haven't seen Toro Kai, but you can still use them with his abilities. Gazo, you can use all three of these right here. But yeah, let me know what you guys' thoughts are. Hopefully they'll rework it. I would love to see if they watch this video and they're like, you know what, Foxborough, it's just trash. Let's tweak them up a little bit and see the player base, if they'll use them more. If I had to put them on a ranking list from S tier to F tier, S tier being like the best of the best characters, and then F tier just being garbage. Let me do that real quick. I came to an average right around an 8. Right around an 8. So that's right around the D to C range. And if I'm being honest, he's a D character. If I had to push him towards one or the other, if he was floating right there in that middle section, I would put him right at a D+. Right at a D+. You can maybe argue a C-, slightly above D+, right in that range. But this is just to give respect to developers, and hopefully maybe they'll change it. So if you guys like this video, please hit like, subscribe, give me your thoughts, give me ideas in the comment section of what you would do to tweak Foxborough, and you guys have a good one.